what are some childhood books that made you love reading? Hi everyone, I'm Sierra from magicwithinwords.com, and I'm all about books and spiritual growth. So last time I did a video on the booktube newbie tag, and just answering the questions. One of the questions that was asked really kind of had me going in like a deep dive into just what kind of books that I really enjoyed as a child and what really made me love reading. So in this video, I'll be going over just a few of those books. So the first book on the list is Bud Not Buddy. So Bud Not Buddy is about a boy named Bud. He is 10 years old. He lives in Flint, Michigan in 1936, and he is a runaway. So he lost his mother, and now he's running away from home, but he has a mission in mind. So at the house, he found a picture of a really famous artist in a band called the Dusky Devastators of the Depression. And the member Herman E. Calloway, he believes is his father. So his mission is to find Herman E. Calloway and let him know that, hey, I'm your son. So he has his suitcase, he has his mission, and he's ready to go meet Herman E. Calloway. He doesn't care what's in his way. Any fear, vampires, yes, vampires, hunger, or anything else. He's not afraid of what's going to come for him. He just wants to find his father. That's his whole goal in the entire book. And I love this book as a kid. I still love it to this day. I wish it would have been made into a movie. It is fantastic. For one, the characters are very well written. I love Bud's perspective. He is very much a spitfire, I would say. He's very much determined to what he wants to do, and he doesn't let anybody stop him. Like, somebody calls him Buddy, he always tells them straight up, my name is Bud, not Buddy. He doesn't falter in his sense of self, even as a 10-year-old. Like, he is very, very confident and very much, I would say, like, he's just on a mission. He knows what he's doing and he knows where he's going. He has that goal in mind and he can set it. So even at 10 years old, he's already like, he's got it going, that type of thing. And I also just love the other characters too as well. I love like the little romance between him and another character in here, all about his first kiss. It was really cute to read as a child. I was just like, oh my God, he's having his first kiss. This is really weird, but also so cool. And just even with all of his experiences, even with his, I think it was his foster family, even though he wasn't treated correctly by the boys that were there, he was able to stand his ground. And even when it got to a point where he was scared, he was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to go. So I just loved the book in general. I just love the writing. And I just think every child should read But Not Buddy. That's just my opinion. Next up on the list is Esperanza Rising. And so I read this book about, I would say like 4th grade, I think it was, 4th grade. And it's about Esperanza. She lived in Mexico, but her and her mom had to flee Mexico and go to California. And so now she's navigating financial struggles and dealing with her mom's health. Her mom starts to get sick during the Great Depression. So this is another historical book. It has an element to it of just what it's like navigating life at that time as a child. And so I just really loved reading about a different culture, learning about different characters, and just putting myself in that world of like what it's like to be a Hispanic girl in that era, especially in that time. And it was just different. It was just a different feel from Bud Not Buddy, obviously a little black boy, but I just loved reading these kind of books as a kid. Next up are actually 3 books. If anyone has ever heard of, I don't even know if it's like a series or just like, I don't know what the word is, but Dear America. So like these kind of books, Across the Wide and Lonesome Prairie, and My Heart Is on the Ground. I really loved these books growing up. I I think I was just really into like historical, I would say historical fiction. I don't know why. I have no idea why. It was just always so interesting to me of just reading stories from characters that were during this time, or at least, you know, characters that could have been from this time, but authors specifically chose that time period to relay stories of what it would have been like for little girls, little boys during that time period. And with these ones, they're all written like diaries, so it's like diary entries. And I just really liked looking into the world of other people. Excuse me. And just, I don't know, just something about them. I just love them all. I think I only have 3 of them right now, but I think I've read about at least 20. I mean, they're at most like 153 pages. So I read quite a bit of them in like about a year or so. But last is my favorite series. Hands down, I think every child should read it. It might be a little bit much for some, but I think all children should read these books. And it is the Shadow Children series by Margaret Peterson Haddix. Hands down, best childhood series I've ever read. So it starts off with the book Among the Hidden. I don't have that copy in here. I don't know where it is. I'll go find it eventually. But the whole entire series is about a boy named Luke. And Luke is an illegal child. I'll let that sit with you for a minute. Luke is an illegal child because in his world, families cannot have more than 2 kids. And so the punishment, if you have any third kid, is death. Exactly. So children are murdered for being born if they're a child. And so for Luke, he lives in the basement of his house. And in the first book, he starts to notice a house not super far from them, but like not really close in distance either. They're not like classes like right next to each other. There's a little bit of distance, but he can see a light goes on in their basement and he sees a little girl. So now he knows he's not the only third child in their community, in their world. And so the whole series navigates him breaking out of the house, meeting with other third children, leading to a revolt. It gets kind of crazy. And if you know the ending, you know, if you read the series, I love the series. I love the characters. I love the storytelling. It was just something about the book, something about the characters and her writing. It was just fantastic. I loved it as a kid, and I still to this day, like, I remember the ending and I'm still like, that was badass. that was pretty cool. And so yeah, I just really loved these books as kids. There are obviously more series and more books that I really loved as a child, but those are just the ones that I have. So yeah, I'm just like I just have a goal to like get as many of those books as I can and try to find all the books that I loved as a kid. And those are just the ones that I started off with. So yeah. So what books shaped your childhood? So if you have any recommendations or any books that shaped your childhood, you can drop it off in the comments. If you would like to see more videos from me, please subscribe. Or if you would like to, you can check out my blog at magicwithinwords.com. I'll put it in the description box and in the comments below. Until then, I will see you all later. Bye.